Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Good.
And got to bring this up to you. This movie, Protege. I mean, I haven't seen this much action in a film for a very long time,
Yeah.
and it's like the fight scenes with you and Maggie. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, you two were like Ali Frazier going at each other.
Uh, wow. What a comparison. Did you ever see that movie? Did you ever see that? I'm sure you saw the doc when they were kings.
Yep, sure
Yeah, how
did.
good is that movie?
That is that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
all those
Joe Frazier.
record fights.
Joe never got Joe. I don't think Joe ever got his due. He was so great. I mean, boxing fans knew how great he was. Sorry, didn't mean to digress. But
Oh no.
but yeah, they're really, I think, I'm not an expert on film fight scenes, but Martin Campbell's so good at that stuff. And Maggie's really good at that stuff
Yeah.
and has more experience than I. Not, I mean, I've done versions of it in different, but I've never quite played a guy exactly like this. And
Right.
it's like, he's a larger than life character. It's like a big screen kind of movie character, and the film is kind of just to sit back and enjoy yourself. But in terms of the action, it was really well done and required a lot of time and energy and work and choreography
Right.
and rehearsal just to get it right, because of the way he wanted to shoot it. And I thought there was some really clever stuff done that, these stunt guys were great, and Martin really knows that stuff inside and out.
And it's funny you said that. I asked Maggie about, the fight scenes. And so she said, yeah, I said, it would look like a great dance. And she said, yeah, it is. It's, choreographed very well. Because she said one little slip up and somebody would have got.
Yeah, yeah, that's the other thing. You go, well, man, I don't, first of all, I don't want to get clocked, and I don't want to hit anybody else. And when you're dealing with stunt people, and even Maggie, she's pretty well versed in this stuff. You have to learn real quickly. Uh, Not like I've done a fair amount of it. That's
Mhm.
not like that's not my claim to fame or anything. It's fun though. Like I keep saying, it's a lot better than sitting around your trailer waiting to get called in. You may as well be out doing something.
Right, right. And like you said, you're out definitely doing it. And this is almost going to be like the weirdest segue, but but it even lets you know what your worth was. And, as far as that goes. And speaking of worth, we now move over to that film.
Yeah.
And when I first saw the title, of course you think, okay, what's this about? But of course, your character plays the attorney dealing with the survivors of the 9/11 victims and just trying to figure out the worth. And I mean, I I couldn't even imagine what that must have been like. I mean, I know you had to study up on it, but could you imagine having to figure out somebody's worth for their family?
No, I mean it's the weight of that whole thing. No, I can't imagine. And
Yeah.
you think at least I do. You think you were aware of the compensation fund and how that was going to work, and then you realize, as I did, starting to not only being the person who plays Ken Feinberg, but an exec producer on it, you realize that I realized I knew almost nothing about this, and
Right.
how do you do that? How do you
Yeah.
figure that out, and how do you make it fair? Uh, and it could never be perfect. It just can't be perfect. And my character Ken had to accept that it probably isn't going to be perfect. He can only do the best he can do.
And it is always interesting watching, say, movies like this one, The Post, All the President's Men, where the things that you knew about, but like you said, you only got to see it from the outside, but then now seeing it inside and what all these people had to go through. I mean, even including like, the victims' families. I remember the one fireman who is always, kind of like up in your character's face,
Yeah,
talking.
yeah, that's such an emotional part of the uh, movie, and it's not like every single second is absolutely accurate and true, because you almost can't do that in a movie. It's almost really impossible.
Mhm.
But that there was that a version of that had happened, and that was a really, that's one thing, I don't think he was, well, I know he wasn't ready for. Ken Feinberg was not ready for that one. And so then you have to get involved and you want to do the right thing, but it's not just you dealing with it on a legal basis. You kind of have to feel, I'm trying to say it without giving too much away, but
Right.
talk about this, they'll know what you and I are talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means folks just go out and see the movie.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you. All right,
Appreciate it. Great. Hi,
Hi,
Maggie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Great to see you.
You too.
And your nice smile, because when I'm watching you in the movie yesterday, it's like, okay, all business done.
I know. Whenever I do interviews, I do sit downs. People are like, I don't understand this because I just, what? You smile? I'm like, all the time. Not when I work, but all the time if I'm not working.
Right. And you definitely give a whole different meaning to that. It used to be, considered a bad thing to say to somebody. But if somebody were to come up to me and say, oh, Greg, you hit like a girl. It's like, yeah, I hit like Maggie. So
Thank
there.
you. Oh, okay. We're coining. There we go.
Yes.
I think we need to do that. That needs to be on one of like the quotes where they put when they're promoting the movie.
Okay, great. We've got it.
Greg, you did it. You did it. Yes.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
And I mean, it just has to be almost to some extent like a kid in a candy shop. I mean, you guys are fighting from beginning to end, going straight through. And even like the battles with you and Michael Keaton, it's like dancing. You know what I mean? I mean, just
it is. It's choreography. It is. Mm-hmm. It is a dance. It's a full-on dance. And as you know, you have to trust your dance partner, right? Otherwise, you're not going to look very good. And so we had to develop that trust together because there is a lot of trust. I mean, it's dangerous, right? You're going toe to toe with people and you have to be safe. And so for me, I mean, I was saying to Martin off screen, I was saying to the coordinator, I'm like, if there's anything you see that I'm lacking on where I'm getting risky, come in and just give it to me straight, like punch me in the face and let me know that I'm not being careful enough because I'm dealing with Michael Keaton. I want to keep him safe.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
But you got that treasure, and then along with Sam Jackson, who, you're his protege, and just that, talk about that relationship. I mean, that's kind of like, father, daughter, best friend. I mean, just the whole thing all wrapped up there together with those two.
I love that relationship so much. I mean, I think Martin and I had like decided that might have been our favorite relationship as far as like giving it depth and meaning and really, rooting in this friendship. It's really easy to explore romantic love on screen and pursuing someone, all that sort of stuff. But this platonic love between people who deeply care about each other, his loss to her, that's everything. There is no one else. It's him and her, and that's it. And it sort of reminds me of a single parent situation. And you really can't mess with that bond because you're talking about, like, especially a single mother or single father who's raised one child. That bond is like, it's unbreakable. And that's kind of what we kind of played off of in this.
Mm-hmm. No, and I know what you mean about that. My mother was a single mother from when I was 9 years old up.
Wow.
They got divorced, and all the way up to the end, it's like, nope, that's my girl.
That's my girl. Exactly. No one above this person. Yeah, that's absolutely how they felt about each other. Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. And also in this, I mean, just so many, because we won't give a whole lot, we won't give anything away actually, but I mean, just a whole lot of fun stuff going on because your character is almost like a superhero, because we can bring up the fact that when she's in her office, she's a bookseller, and it's all just, the prim and proper. And
yes. Yeah. And it's her passion, and she's very, and there's just, we wanted to include sort of too, like little things where when he buys it for her and he's like, well, here's the deed. And she's like, he knows how much this means to her. He does things because he loves and cares about her future. And he knows that, like, he wants to leave her with a life that she can be proud of and that she can immerse herself in, with love. And even little things like that, they mean a lot from someone like him, because that's him constantly watching out for her.
No, that's for sure. But like you said, just nice story, good story going through it. And then for those of you out there who love action, you're not going to find anything better, than this. So Detroiters, get out there and enjoy.
Detroiters.
All right.
All right.
Maggie, thank you so much. Enjoyed this a whole lot.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks for helping us promote.
Oh, you got it. And I'll continue to hit like a girl as long as it's you. That's right. You go. Take care. Oh, I said hi. How are you, Martin?
I'm good. I'm good, mate. Yeah. Just flew over from England 2 days ago, but here I am.
Welcome, welcome. I know how those flights go from when doing it. It's kind of like a few days. It is like, okay,
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Right. I was it's that flight has you all up in the air and moving around just like this movie does, where I have to just say, I was first going to joke with you and say, oh, it's really nice just how nice and calm and quiet and slowly everything moved. But no, this thing is just fast paced and just action from start to finish. That just sounds like it's got to be just a fun project, something you'd love working on.
I did. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I had 3 great actors to work with. So for me, it was a kick.
I can imagine. And even think, here's Maggie. And it just made me think there's that old saying, oh, you hit like a girl. I wish.
Yeah, she kicks ass. There's no question about it.
Right. And she starts out, basically as Sam's protege. And then just as time goes on, certain things happen. And now she's out just looking for answers. And the way she gets her answers are definitely in a different way than just asking somebody to tell me yes or no, right?
Yeah, don't go near a bath. That's the best.
But also, like you said, you've got Michael Keaton in this too. And you've got him moving around and doing stuff that he, probably had done for a while. Talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah, he worked very hard at that. Action's difficult for actors, in the sense that Maggie, for her, it's a profession. She's brilliant at it. Apart from being a superb actress, she's done actress action. She knows it like the back of her hand. Michael, on the other hand, had to train for that, like, rehearse and train and so forth. And he threw himself into it, and I think he did a really good job.
Oh, he does. Because like you say, you're looking going, no matter what you say, no, would not want to go up against this guy, whatsoever. And then also with Sam Jackson, you've got him. I mean, doing some action and, the usual, when I say Sam verbiage. So, I mean, you work that very well together where we get to be called certain names and then get beat up by Sam Jackson.
Yeah, he's a Sam Jackson, elevates everything he's in, to be honest. He's one of those great actors. He must be the richest actor in Hollywood, I would have thought, because he never stops working. And there's a reason for that. And that's because he's bloody good. And he always brings something to the party and he elevates your movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed working with him, I have to say.
And I think there was something a few years back, I can't remember how long ago, but yeah, about how he was in more movies than pretty much anyone, who was out there.
Well, he's a theater trained actor. I mean, that's where he comes from. So, and that's why it's partly why it's so good. He's, and I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, he's going back into the theater to do a play or a couple of plays. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Martin, enjoyed all the action. A pleasure talking with you. And like you said, then that jet lag will get away in a few days. That's great.
Well, all right, mate. Thanks very much indeed.